Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Boumediene Huda and I'd like to present to you our contribution to the third International Conference on Applied Research in Education, which is entitled ICT-Based Model Teaching EFL Through Online Courses. As for the context of our study, teaching English as a foreign language has become a challenge due to the variety of techniques and methods of teaching, as well as the diversity of learners' motivations and interests for learning. Therefore, instructors have to think about current ways to incorporate new strategies in order to promote their teaching process and reach their teaching goals. For this reason, the integration of information and communication technology, the ICTs, especially online courses, became widely spread in so many fields, including language learning, teaching, and more particularly teaching literature. The latter represents that the use of online courses helps in understanding of most of the difficult literary texts. As for the problematic, teaching and learning EFL have faced an overwhelming number of limitations, and many universities attempt to meet the needs of both students and teachers. In that regard, language experts and scholars saw ICT as a supportive tool to learning and teaching EFL. The increased presence of technology in higher education affects the conventional teaching environment. These days, concentrating only on conventional methods is not enough. Blended learning has also become crucial for learning process. An online course seems to have an immense trial on students' learning and can be used as a tool to motivate both students and their teachers. Yet, teachers are required to know how can they tie the online courses within the conventional classrooms, and learners have to know how can they exploit such online courses to develop their learning skills. Our study aims to introduce and explore the concept of the online courses, the new concept of MOOC, as a model to approach the learning process, and to examine the effectiveness of such MOOC as an educational tool in the course of teaching literature. Also, it aims to evaluate the technology-based instruction using MOOC in teaching literature. The study aims to answer the following questions. 1. How successful is the use of MOOCs in the teaching of literature within the EFL classrooms? What are the teachers' attitudes towards the integration of MOOCs in their teaching process? And what are their learners' attitudes towards the integration of MOOCs within the learning? To what extent is embedding MOOCs in traditional classroom result in effective learning outcomes? And finally, whether the use of MOOC in teaching literature meet the needs of students in EFL classes or not. We hypothesized that 1. MOOC may serve as an additional teaching tool to the traditional method, and is merely based on the presence of the teacher and their learners. Learners also may profit from using such a MOOC, and they are getting more involved within the experiment. This tool, we mean the MOOC, may help both teachers to integrate online content and activities within face-to-face teaching, and their learners to facilitate and reinforce their literature studies. As for the relevance of a MOOC in literature class, Maurice, we mean the literature review, Maurice in 2014 stated that students' motivation for education is changing, and the process of acquiring data has become easy via the internet, mobile devices, and computers. Cedric et al. 2018, after experimenting within the first year students in computer science at Hellenic Open University, noticed that using an online course as a preparatory course helped their students to empower and recall past knowledge, giving them a kind of readiness to start their studies easily. Besides, online course as a preparatory course seems to be the best solution. Wang Yil in 2019 asserted that an online course has positive impact on students' learning, as it can help them to reach the most preferable higher education resources in the world via network and according to their own time and needs. So let us examine the new concept of a MOOC. What is a MOOC? It is a massive open online course. And these platforms are the providers of MOOCs, edX, Udacity, FutureLearn, and Coursera. As for the methodology adopted, this study has a quasi-experimental nature based on a course delivered besides 2 questionnaires administered to both teachers and learners. As for the course, is composed of the 3 stages. For the pre-course, an online course from the educational platform edX that was launched by the Open University in 2012 was chosen. The edX platform delivered new online course open for everyone for free, entitled How to Read the Novel, instructed by the teacher of literature Alexandra Lowry at Edinburgh University. During the course, at this stage we have devoted time to introduce the whole concept of a MOOC, including its types, features, and famous platforms. Then we started to integrate an offline MOOC in a conventional classroom, that is a lab, through watching videos that we have already downloaded, and then reading the PDFs that were printed for the learners and asking them to answer the questions that were noted down in the MOOC. Within the post-course stage, 2 questionnaires were administered, as I said, to the teachers and the learners to know about their different perceptions. The main results demonstrated, first of all, starting by the questionnaires of teachers, when the teachers were asked, the incorporation of MOOC helps to promote teaching and learning EFL in higher education, to provide the students with a good self-directed learning skills. As university teacher, you are for or against its integration in your teaching. The majority of them, 88%, they were for the integration of MOOCs in their teaching. And here are their answers. So they said it encourages and cultivates autonomous learning, for instance, integrating MOOCs within the conventional classes, expose students to different ways of teaching, offer learning materials to assure online content. It is an additional learning tool. As for their learners, when they were asked, would you like MOOCs to be integrated in your teaching literature? So they said, it is a good way to study. They prefer MOOC and recommend it because they have tried a lot of websites and MOOCs are better. The MOOCs incorporation in the Algerian universities' classrooms will be a revolution in our educational system and a jump to another level of creativity and self-reliability among learners. All in all, the results obtained from the data interpretations revealed that both teachers and students are quite satisfied with the use of MOOCs, which proves that the integration of MOOCs in teaching literature is effective and improving the students' performance. Also, the findings support the second and third hypotheses of the study, stated that MOOCs helps both teachers to integrate online content activities within face-to-face teaching and their learners to facilitate and reinforce literature studies. In a nutshell, nowadays the role of educational technology in teaching is of great importance due to the use of data and communication technology inside and outside the classes. Therefore, MOOC as a teaching tool can play a significant role in teaching and learning process, in which it can enhance, facilitate, and improve the students' performance in literature classes. Thank you for your attention.